to another production of ParkTV 16 Sports on location. This afternoon, early this evening, we are on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's, bringing you Metro West Conference softball featuring the visiting Chaska Hawks, coming in with a 6-2 record. And Benilde-St. Margaret's at home, coming at 4-1. And we are a little slow in getting going here. It's early in the season, and the one thing to note about this matchup is, or any matchup in girls softball, is they didn't have a season last year because of the pandemic, so it's been 2 years since they have played. I am Robert Christensen, glad you're joining us, and we got the PA announcer. And I think they're gonna do some announcing lineups here.
The batting order for the visitors. Starting with the subs, we have Lindsay Dolan, McKenna Toltzman, Kenzie Hill, Maddie Overpriller, Emily White, and Ann Swigart.
Those are the reserves for the Chaska Hawks.
The starting lineup. We have the center.
And now the starting lineup for the Hawks.
Medora Riley. The left fielder, Emma Haar. The third baseman, Allie Florek. The shortstop, Sydney Hugh. The first baseman, Kendall Carmen. The designated player, Grace Swigart. The second baseman, Peyton Nichols. The right fielder, Maria Averly. The pitcher, Karina Coppersmith. And the center fielder / flex is Ava Blake. And for the Red Knights, our subs are Senya Golsek and Maddie Murray. The starting lineup for the Red Knights. We have the left fielder, number 3, Rose Branford. The shortstop, number 13, Sophie Melsness.
These are the starting lineup for Benilde. Hopefully you at home watching can hear the PA announcer. If not, I will go through it once we get going underway. Again, I'm Robert Christensen. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube.
The first baseman, number 17, Kylie Wagner. The right fielder, number 11, Jill Petty. The second baseman, Brooklyn Riley. The designated player, Carly Green. And the flex for today is Liv Haig.
So we're about to begin. I don't know if there's going to be a national anthem.
Face left field.
Yep, and here it is.
Playing of the national anthem.
And we're about ready to get underway here at Dolan Field on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. And before we get started, let's go through your lineups. Of course, Benilde-St. Margaret's at home. They will start in the field, and so we'll go through the starting batting lineup for Chaska. Batting first
will be Medora Riley, the catcher. She's number 21, followed by Emma Haar, the left fielder. She's number 30. Batting third, Allie Florek. She's at third base, number 10. Batting cleanup, Sydney Huey, a shortstop. She's number 32. In the fifth position in the batting order for the Chaska Hawks, Kendall Carmen. She'll play first base. Followed by in the number 6 hole is Grace Swigert. She is the designated player. And then we have Peyton Nicholas at second base, batting 7th. She's number 8, followed by the number 8 hitter, Marie Alberly. She's in right field, batting 9th. Karina Coppersmith pitching for Chaska, and followed by Ava Blake, the center fielder, flex player number 22. On the mound for Benilde-St. Margaret's is number 15, Tibby Hessian. Benilde comes in with a 4-1 record overall, 3-1 in the Metro West Conference. Chaska comes in with a 6-2 record, and they are 2-1 in the conference, so a great conference matchup. Bloomington Jefferson is in the conference lead with a 5-0 record. Both of these teams have lost to Bloomington Jefferson. Their other 2 common opponents, they have both beaten, so I expect a really close matchup here to decide who's gonna have a firm hold on second place in the Metro West Conference. And we're underway, and Tibby throws a strike there on that pitch. And that's her second strike. I'm looking at the scoreboard here at Dolan Field, and I don't think we're gonna get accurate, so I'll keep an eye on it. Now that pitch hit out to right field, and she was fighting the sun out there in right field. Number 21 was Carly Green, and unable to come up with it. And now on second base, the leadoff hitter, Medora Riley, the catcher, gets Chaska off to a good start. That would be an error on that play, obviously, but she was definitely fighting the sun. And it is a gorgeous day in here in St. Louis Park. 63 degrees, 6-mile winds out of the north-northeast. You can see if we get a picture of the flag, that is east and north. So it might be tough to hit one over the fence in left field, but that last hit went out that way, and there's really not a lot of wind to speak of as Tibby Hessian looks at number 30, the batter, Emma Haar. She's batting second, player on second base. Just underway here, top of the first inning, no outs. And Tibby Hessian with the delivery. Strike call. Good pitch, high and outside, just caught the corner. Now Tibby Hessian looks in against the right-handed hitter, Emma Haar, the left fielder. And that ball high and outside. On second base is the leadoff hitter, Medora Riley. If you're just joining us, she hit a pop fly to the left field and was able to get second base on a misplay by the left fielder. And now that pitch allows her to take third base. So Medora Riley in definite scoring position with no outs here, top of the first. And the pitch to Emma Haar, strike call, so that's 2 strikes on Haar. Runner on third for Chaska, trying to get a run across here early in the first. They come in with a 6-2 record. Benilde, 4-1 at home. And a big pitch and a strikeout by Tibby Hessian, and that's a great answer from number 15. 1 out.
Now up to bat, number 10.
And that should settle the Red Knights down just a little bit. If they can get out of this inning without allowing that run to score Medora Riley, that would be a huge mental boost, and a strike from Tibby Hessian, and she looks settled in here now suddenly, folks. Up to bat for Chaska, that's number 10, Allie Florek. She's the third baseman. There you get a good look at her. 0-1 count, and that ball swung on and fouled off to the right, out of play. So far, no shadows to concern ourselves with, but as this game progresses, I can see the shadow from the building right behind home plate having some sort of impact. But an 0-2 count now to the third hitter, number 10, Allie Florek.
And the delivery hit on and gone to left field, and she has hit it over the left fielder's head out there, and it gets by her. That clearly scores Riley from third base, and that's a clean double for number 3 hitter Allie Florek, and a 1-0 lead for the Hawks. 1 out here, top of the first, and that brings up the cleanup hitter for Chaska, number 32, Sydney Huey, the shortstop, and now we're gonna have a timeout as one of the coaches for Benilde will approach the mound, along with the catcher. Number 1 is Michelle Deering, and they're gonna talk it over here. Maybe just to settle down Hessian, although I don't think she's been pitching poorly by any stretch. Chaska just has laid into a couple nice pitches there. So I think it's a good idea to go out there just to talk with her to get Chaska out of their momentum for no other reason.
Sydney Huey.
And now Sydney Huey. Chance to another base hit here to score a potential second run here in the top of the first. So great start here for the Hawks. Chaska with a very good baseball, softball, sports history over the years and decades. And now the right-handed hitter cleanup, Sydney Huey, shortstop, and an important part here early. And boy, that pitch came in, Hessian, right to my left, and that is some heat there from number 15. And a big cut by the cleanup hitter, Sydney Huey. She was right on that pitch too, just missed it. Strike, and another swing and a miss. Fouled straight back, I should say, and now a quick 0-2 count for Hessian, but she had 2 strikes on the last hitter, and that pitch went right over the left fielder's head, so let's see if she can come in with something a little better. Pitched on away, and that fouled off to the right. And boy, you can see that there is some pace on that ball from Tibby Hessian. Wish we had a radar gun, but there is some serious heat coming from number 15, as now the hitter is talking to the home plate umpire, and I'm gonna try to listen in. I'm just possibly in earshot, although I could not hear what they're talking about. Maybe the hitter trying to butter up the umpire, but she's still looking at an 0-2 count. Pitch on away high, and it gets by the catcher, and that'll go to the backstop, which isn't very far behind, but it does allow the runner on second base to advance to third. So we're in the same situation we were just a few moments ago. Runner on third for Chaska, nobody out, or 1 out. Number 4 hitter, still 0-2 the count. Tibian with the, and the hit right to the second baseman. She snares it, goes right, looks at third. And smartly, number 10 got back to third, but what a bang-bang play that was. And recording the second out is the second baseman, Liv Hag. Nice play there. She had to get down on her knees and get that ball. Great play there. 2 outs now for Benilde. They'd love to get out of here with just 1 run across, and up to bat for Chaska. Number 20, Kendall Carmen. She's the first baseman. Also a right-handed hitter, obviously. So the pitch on away after a 1-ball count, swung on, fouled right back into the backstop. Strike. So now we got 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on third. I think if Benilde can get out of this inning without allowing the runner from third to score, they can take that momentum into the bottom of the first. Pitch on away, low. Ball 1. 1-2 is your count to number 20, Kendall Carmen. Swung on to right center field, and that could be trouble for Benilde. Getting back and making an unbelievable catch. A circus catch is the right fielder, Marie Aberly, saves the day, and you can see the excitement in the outfield right there. And here comes Benilde to bat. Our score after your first half inning, Chaska 1, Benilde 0, and Benilde to come to bat. And let's look at their starting lineup. I don't know if we have a graphic for that as we watch the pitcher for Chaska quickly coming out to do her warm-ups. But coming up for Benilde in the bottom of the first is leading off number 3, the left fielder, Rose Bransford. She'll be followed by number 13, batting second, Sophie Melsness, the shortstop. She'll be followed by the pitcher, who we've mentioned quite a bit already, Tibby Hessian. Number 15, batting fourth at cleanup. Number 10, the center fielder, and that doesn't surprise me, the center fielder, usually the best athlete on the field, Iris Flume, batting fourth. And following her, batting fifth, the catcher, number 1, Michelle Deering. She'll be followed by number 17 in the 6th position, Kylie Wagner. She's at first. She'll be followed by the 7th hitter, number 11, Jill Petty, the right fielder. Number 8, or batting 8th, number 4, Brooklyn Riley, the 3rd baseman. Batting 9th, number 21, Carly Green, the designated hitter. And batting 10th is number 5, Liv Hag at second base, who made a critical catch to get out number 2 in the top of the 1st. And we're about to begin the bottom of the 2nd. Pitching for Chaska is number 26, Karina Coppersmith.
Number 3, Rose Bransford.
And here comes the right-handed hitter, Rose Bransford. Benilde down 1-0. We're in the bottom of the 1st. I'm Robert Christensen. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube, and that first pitch from Coppersmith draws a swing from Bransford. So strike 1, the count 0-1. Coppersmith, the pitch on away, strike 2. She doesn't seem to have as much power as Hessian, but that ball was well placed, and she's in a good position here. 0-2 to the leadoff hitter, and that ball outside. Tried to get Bransford to chase it. Bransford with a good eye, smart hitter up there. Count 1-2. No outs here, bottom of the 1st, swing and a miss. And that is out number 1, the strikeout for Coppersmith. And that will bring up the 2nd hitter, batting number 13, Sophie Melsness, the shortstop. Chaska's pitcher comes in with a 1-run ERA. They come in with a 6-2 record. Chaska, they've given up some runs, though. They've got a couple losses, 11, as we watch that pitch hit on, swung on, and into the right center field gap. And that is an easy double for number 2, Sophie Melsness. What a swing she put on that. And now a chance for Benilde to tie it up here with Tibby Hessian coming to bat.
Batting number 15, Tibby.
She's batting number 3. And she obviously batting left as we look at number 13, Sophie Melsness, after that beautiful double. And that was a clean double into the gap in right center. And that pitch to Hessian is high and outside, ball number 1. Chaska playing fairly straight away, although the 3rd baseman is in close, very close. That's probably because Hessian is a left-handed hitter, and if she's going to be pulling the ball, but I still think she is surprisingly close. If Hessian could just knock one over her head, she'd have a double for sure. And there it went, right where I thought she could, and she burns the left fielder all the way to the fence. In comes number 2, Melsness. She'll score easily, and there's a double for Tibby Hessian. And just where I thought she could squeeze that ball, as they were kind of shaded to the right,
Now
Tibby
batting
Hessian
number
helps
10,
herself out with a
Iris
RBI base hit, and she ties the score, and she'll come off the field as we look at the replay, because that went all the way to the fence. So some big time hitting here on display by both teams. And our score is 1-1 here in the bottom of the 1st. So far 1 out, and we have a pinch runner at second base. And that is number 23, Ellie Porich, into pinch run for the pitcher. I don't think that means the pitcher is out. Tibby Hessian, she'll be coming out, so they allow that substitution. So 1 out, runner in scoring position, up to bat, number 4, Iris Plume. Number 10, the center fielder. Chance to take the lead here on a base hit. The delivery from Coppersmith. High and outside.
So two balls, no strikes, one out here, bottom of the first. On the mound, Karina Coppersmith delivers a strike. 2-1 your count. Runner on second base as we get a good look there at the number 4 hitter, Iris Flume. And the delivery, swing and a miss. And it didn't appear to me that Flume had a very good chance at that one. That was a high outside, could have still been a strike. Great pitch by Coppersmith. And now the 2-2 delivery high, and laying off it smartly was Flume. She did flinch for a second, but wisely held back, and now we got a 3-2 count, one out, runner on second. She's not taking a big lead out there at second, as you can see her on your left part of the screen, and there's a low pitch, and they do deliver the walk. So if you're a Chaska fan, nothing hurt. In fact, there might be a tactical advantage because now it'll create a double play situation and a chance to get out of the hearing with just one pitch. And now up to bat the catcher for Benilde. Number 1, Michelle Deering, the catcher. And that first pitch is down on the right field line, and that should score 1, and it does. She comes in from second base to take the lead, and the runner on first goes all the way to third, and a base hit RBI for the catcher, Michelle Deering. Puts Benilde up 2-1 here in the bottom of the first, and what a great response from the Red Knights after giving up a run in the top of the first to come right back and score 2, and we're not done yet. There's just one out, and stepping into the batter's box, number 17, the first baseman, Kylie Wagner. Now a steal attempt, and they try to pick her up at third, and she's safe. Didn't fall for it, was number 10. No, Iris Flume was on third, and there was a steal attempt. She got to second, and rather than the catcher going down to second, she tried to pick off the runner on third, but it didn't work as she got back. So now we have runners on second and third, still one out. The count is 2-0 to Wagner. And a chance to get 2 more runs here with a base hit. Coppersmith, the delivery. And that is a strike called. So 2-1 your count. Runners on second and third. Great action here if you're just joining us. Our score 2-1 Benilde in the bottom of the first. And trying to add 2 more here with a base hit. Ooh, and the umpire looked to me like he wanted to call the strike, but it just missed. So 3-1 the count. This is a hitter's pitch here with runners in scoring position, and she does take there. So 3-2 your count. And if you're Coppersmith, you don't have to come clean here because you got an empty base at 1, and she does give up the walk, and that's not by accident necessarily. She may want to have avoided Kylie Wagner at first base. And now coming to bat,
number 11,
an opportunity here for number 11, Jill Petty, the right fielder who made that spectacular catch to end the top of the first, has a chance to do some real damage. And that pitch high, and something interesting about that, she took a lot off that Coppersmith there, number 26, but that was a ball, obviously. So 1-0 the count to number 11, Petty, and there's a second ball now, a pickoff attempt at first, safe. So the catcher not afraid to throw the ball around. Number 21, Medora Riley. Now the pitch swung on and just eludes the second baseman, and that's gonna score a run, and that's a groan from the Chaska fans. And that will score 1. The bases will remain loaded. Fighting off that pitch, Jill Petty was able just to muscle that ball over the second baseman's head. And she was playing in because bases were loaded. That's to cut off the runner at home, and taking advantage was Jill Petty, and that will bring a meeting to the mound for Chaska. And our score now, 3-1. Still just one out. And Chaska talking it over there at the mound as they are in a heap of trouble here, down 3-1. Still only one out. And now coming to bat, number 4,
in the 8th position, Brooklyn Riley, the 3rd baseman, with a chance to really do some more damage for Benilde. Now Coppersmith struggling here in the bottom of the 1st, and that pitch is high. And she seems to be having a little bit of control problems, as I would imagine she might be a bit rattled here. Yeah, just looking at her body language there, just showing some frustration, I thought. And that pitch low, so she needs to settle down a little bit. This might be the chance where just the coach comes out and talks to her, settles her down. She's clearly a very good pitcher. And that hit on, coming to right field, and that gets by the right fielder, and that's gonna be lots of runs for Benilde. Scoring, number 1, Deering, number 2, and the play at 3rd, and she is out, but that doesn't prevent the 3rd run from scoring. And that is a 3-run RBI base hit to right field and an error on the right fielder for the 2nd base, but 3 more runs for Benilde, puts them up 6-1. To Chaska's credit, that was a nice relay play to 3rd base as we look at that play right there. And I think, boy, was she safe there, Paul? I just looked up at it. She may have been safe. We might want to look at that again if we have an opportunity. But nevertheless, 6-1 Benilde, bottom of the 1st. And now no one on with 2 outs. And stepping into the batter's box is Carly Green, number 21. She is the spectacular goaltender for the Red Knights girls hockey team. On a scholarship, going to some school out east. I can't remember. I want to say Dartmouth or something, but now she's playing softball. I think the multi-sport is a good activity for anybody. I think it enhances if you got a sport that you're particularly better at, like Carly Green, but for her to play softball, I think can only help her hockey skills. Just to do something different, get away from it. Okay, the pitch on away, and she was way in front of that pitch, out of play. So the count will remain 1-2. 2 outs here, bottom of the 1st. Coppersmith on the mound there. Trying to get out of this inning after already giving up 6 runs and facing almost the entire order. Carly Green wisely looks at that, so that makes it ball 2. The count 2-2 to Green. Karina Coppersmith on the mound. The pitch on away, swung on, fouled straight back in the dirt. So Carly Green hanging in there. The tall, lanky right-handed hitter. We'll look at another 2-2 pitch with 2 outs, nobody on, but 6 runs already across for the Red Knights. And the pitch on away. Ew. Very close. She took something off of it, just a little bit low, but I thought it caught the corner. So now 3-2 the count with 2 outs to Green. Swung on, fair ball, easily scooped up by the 1st baseman, Kendall Carmen, the 1st baseman for a solo putout, and that retires the side for Benilde, but not before 6 runs in a big inning for them in the bottom of the 1st. And we'll head to the top of the 2nd, and it will be Chaska's turn to try to answer with the middle of their lineup coming up. They were able to get 1 run in the 1st. And expected up next is number 23 for the Hawks, Grace Swigert. She's the number 6 hitter as we watch Benilde come out. And on the mound is Tibby Hessian. And she delivers her warm-up pitches, and I cannot overstate how gorgeous of a day is here in St. Louis Park. There is not a blemish in the sky. We've had some cold, rainy temperatures, and we are getting our reward here on a 63-degree afternoon. Completely sunny, hardly any wind to speak of. Good day to be out watching softball, and I'm glad you're with us. My name again is Robert Christensen. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. We're streaming live on YouTube. Glad you're with us. All right, we're about to begin the top of the 2nd. I'm sorry, Paul? I do not know how many hits Chaska has. Yeah, I don't know how many they have so far. I think maybe 2 as we watch number 23 for Chaska. Grace Swigert take a big cut at that first pitch from Hessian. 0-1 the count. And pitch number 2, low and outside, so 1-1 your count. To the number 6 hitter for Chaska, Grace Swigert. Pitch on away, high, and she did hold up, and they're gonna go to first base, and they did say she went around, so that's gonna be strike 2 to number 23, Grace Swigert, and I can't disagree with that call. It looked like she kind of came around a little bit more than she could have, and now it's a 1-2 count to her. Pitch on away to the shortstop, backhanded play to first base, and what a great defensive play for Benilde, the shortstop, Sophie Melsness. And you won't see a better shortstop play in any league by any gender. Get that replay, that was beautiful, especially with the sun in her eyes. We don't have that replay. Boy, the sun was in her eyes. She went to her right, backhanded it, came right up and delivered a strike as we watch number 8 step into the batter's box for Chaska. That's number 1, Marie Aberly, the right fielder. Or excuse me, that's number 8, Peyton Nicholas, the second baseman. Pitch on away, the 0-1 count, that's a ball low. So 1 out here, top of the second, nobody on. And up to bat, the number 7 hitter for Chaska, Peyton Nicholas, and she swings and misses on Hessian's offering there. So the count 1-2, 1 out here. The right-handed hitter, Peyton Nicholas, the second baseman, trying to get something going here for the Hawks, down 5 runs. Pitch swung on, and was it out of play? It was out of play before the first baseman, Kylie Wagner, was able to field it. Those are always dicey plays, aren't they? If she fields it, she almost has to tag the baseman. If she's still in play, there can be a collision. It can get real confusing. Now that ball swung on and behind it, but that's an easy play for the second baseman for Benilde. Liv Hag, that's her second put out
to bat, number 1, Maria
of the
Aberly.
evening, and that is the second out recorded. So 2 up, 2 down so far in the top of the first, and now stepping into bat for Chaska is number 1, Marie Aberly, the right fielder, the left-handed hitter, looks at strike 1. 0-1 the count. Benilde playing shaded to the right, as you would expect for a left-handed hitter. Pitch on away, strike 2, right on the outside corner. Our count 0-2 to the left-handed hitter, the right fielder for Chaska. Aberly, ooh, just looks that one outside. Hessian tried to get her to chase it. Our count 1-2 now. Swing and a miss. Strikeout for Hessian, and that retires the side. 1-2-3. So a very efficient top of the second for the Red Knights. And after 1.5, our score 6-1. We are at Dolan Field on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports, and coming up next for Benilde, as they went through the order, I think it'll start off at the bottom of the order. Liv Hag, I expect, will lead off, and then we'll go to the top of the order. She'll be followed by Rose Bransford and Sophie Melsness. They're up next. And now looking at who's warming up for Chaska, and we have a new pitcher already in for Chaska. And we'll get a name on her. It's number 28. See if I can figure this one out. I don't know if I have this one. Well, maybe I do. Hold on a second. I took a picture of the starting lineup on my phone. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's just see here if my ability to manage modern technology. Let's see if I have any of the reserves here. That is number 28, and yes, that is Ann Swigert into pitch. Number 28 for Chaska. And we'll see if that makes a difference as Karina Coppersmith got roughed up. So in for Karina Coppersmith is Swigert and Swigert. Okay, let's see if that makes a difference. Up to bat is Haig, the second baseman. Or excuse me, we're at the top of the order. They did go through the whole batting order in the bottom of the first, so they're right there at the top of the lineup to start the bottom of the second. And we got a little bit of a delay, but that's okay if we're outside here. Such a gorgeous night.
Now up to bat, number 3.
Maybe the best weather of the year. Okay. Nobody on, bottom of the second. Our score 6-1. Pitch on away in the dirt. Not a good start for Swigert. We don't have a lot of stats on her, unfortunately. One ball, no strike, the count. Pitch on away, swung on, and just she got a little bit of a piece of it. Did Bransford. So strike, count, 1-1, and now the catcher, number 21, will come out. That's Medora Riley. Try to get the communication together here between the pitcher and the catcher. Now it appears there might be some discussion with the home plate umpire. No, it looks like everything's squared away. Our count 1-1, no out. Bransford to bat. That pitch delivered high. Ball 2. 2-1 your count. To Rose Bransford, the left fielder, the number 1 hitter in the lineup. And pitch on away, and that's a strike call. That evens the count at 2-2. So good comeback pitch by Swigert. And the pitch on away, swung on and fouled straight back by Bransford. Count remains even at 2-2. She'll be followed by Sophie Melsness, Tibby Hessian, and Iris Flume. And now the umpire is going to come out and talk to the new pitcher for Chaska. And right now, I can't imagine what that discussion is about. It's just between the umpire and the pitcher. So I'm sure he's hopefully just giving her some guidance on, I don't know if there's a technical way that she might be violating a rule. Usually I would think that he would call and talk to the managers about what he just talked to the player. And yeah, he is going to come over now and talk to the manager. I would certainly want to know what the umpire's talking to my player about. I would have been out there if I was the manager going, hey, what are you talking to my player about? So now he's going to go over and talk to the Chaska coach and explain what the issue is. And I don't know if it has to do with how she's, I mean, I'm just trying to imagine. I played baseball through high school. Maybe if there's a balk thing that he's cautioning her about, or a way that she's addressing, or, you know. Okay. So he called an illegal pitch. So the count now is 3 balls, 2 strikes. And I think he went out there to try to explain to her what was illegal about it, and I'm not sure what it was. Now the pitch swung on right back up the middle. Snagged by the shortstop, and the throw is in time. My goodness. What a play by Chaska's shortstop. Sydney Huey was the umpire correct, though. Let's see the replay, the throw. Yeah, I think so. Just got her by a half a step. What a great call by the first place umpire. And what a play by the shortstop, Sydney Huey. That could be the momentum changer that Chaska needs to get back in this, especially if they can get out of this bottom of the second with no runs. Those kind of plays can spark a rally. So 1 out here, bottom of the second. What a great athletic play at shortstop by Huey for the Hawks. Okay, the 1 ball, no strike count, and right back up the middle is Melsness, and what a great player she is. That was a solid hit right at eye level as she's at first base going, look, that was simple, see? Right there in the wheelhouse. And Melsness is some sort of softball player, that is for sure. And now here comes Timmy Hessian, the left-hander. She delivered a hit in the first inning, and now she's gonna get a chance here in the second with a player on first with 1 out. Pitch on away. That ball, the stolen base by Melsness. She gets in there standing up. And she chose right on that as well. Because that ball, there was a little speed taken off that pitch, which allowed the stolen base. And now the quick hit, and what a diving stop by Chaska, showing some great athletic ability. And look at that throw and scoop to third base. She's safe, but wow. Great athletic fielding. That is a joy to watch there too. Watch this play. We have that on replay, maybe, hopefully.
Now batting number 10, Iris from
second baseman for Chaska, Peyton Nicholas. Here it is, goes to her right. Now we'll see the throw to third, and look at that scoop by the third baseman as we watch number 10 now back to live play. Iris Flume grounds out, and what a great defensive inning for Chaska. They hold Benilde to no runs, so our score remains after 2 full innings here at Dolan Field on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. The score is 6-1. Let's see if Chaska can ride that momentum into the top of the third after 2 really stunning defensive plays on the infield. First by the shortstop for Chaska, Sydney Huey, and then by the second baseman, Peyton Nicholas. And that's not surprising. This Chaska team comes in with a 6-2 record. And after giving up those initial 6 runs, this game is far from over. One of the downsides when you get up 6-1 is you tend to relax too soon, and you've still got 90% of the game. So it's going to be up to Chaska to keep their head in it and keep the pressure on, because Chaska, believe me, they have a great tradition of baseball, softball, and great athletes in that community, and you saw evidence of that in the field just a few moments ago. We watch Hessian come into the mound to warm up. We're in the top of the third inning, and leading off for Chaska will be who was pitching, Karina Coppersmith, so she'll remain in the lineup as a hitter. And if they stay true to the lineup, I think she'll be followed by Ava Blake, the center fielder, and then the top of the lineup, I think, will be Medora Riley, who did score the only run for Chaska. And yeah, Medora Riley will bat second.
Now batting number 26, Karina Coppersmith.
So Karina Coppersmith steps in, down 6-1. Chaska has their work cut out for them. And they can't think about that amount of runs to get back. They just got to chip away here with base hits, and they'll start out here with Karina Coppersmith. And you got to think she's motivated since she was on the mound to give up those 6 runs. I would want to try to help my team back out at the plate, but she looked at strike 1, so the count 0-1 from Hessian. And the pitch on away, strike 2. So Hessian dominating here early. Now Coppersmith finds herself in a hole. There she is, number 26, the right-handed hitter. Pitch on away, swung on, fouled just back to the left side against the backstop. So the count will remain 0-2. Coppersmith will trot back to the batter's box. 0-2 the count. Swung on and fouled sharply to the right side against the backstop. So Coppersmith gets a round of applause from a good contingent of Chaska Hawks fans driving from the valley into St. Louis Park and the campus of Benilde, and the count 0-2. Swung on and right there to the third baseman who's playing in, but the throw is a little dicey, and unable to handle it is Wagner. So the third baseman, surprisingly, struggled with that. Brooklyn Riley.
Now batting number 21.
And she was
Medora
played
Riley.
perfectly in so close, which is really important because it cuts off the ability of the runner to beat the throw, but then the throw was obviously in the dirt, and that allowed Coppersmith to get to first base. So she does her job. She finds her way on there, just getting the ball in play and making the other team field it can be a huge thing. And so now with a player on first, nobody out, in the batter's box is number 21, Medora Riley, the leadoff hitter, and she now has a 2-ball, 0-strike count. And an opening here for Chaska with nobody out here, top of the third. Pitch on away, and there Hessian rights the ship with a strike. 2-1 your count. To the center catcher, Medora Riley. Whoa, pitch just high above the letters. And now the count 3-1 to the leadoff hitter, Medora Riley. Will she be going after it? And she draws a walk, so now we have 2 runners on with nobody out for Chaska. Their number 2 hitter now comes to the batter's box, and that is gonna be number 30, Ali Florek. There she is with her practice swing.
Now batting, number 30.
She looks down to the
Emma
third base
Hall.
coach for a sign. Down 6-1, get a base hit. That's the sign here. As we look at that great angle. We've got cameras all over the place here. Now the pitch and the stolen base, and nice throw from the catcher, number 1, Deering, and they've got her throw. Oh, they called her safe, and now they call her out. And now they've got the other runner in a rundown and the quick throw. Oh, I am confused. I thought I saw a safe call, I saw an out call, and now I see Coppersmith scoring. And this is a mess. This is a mess. I saw an out call, I saw a safe call, and now they're gonna talk about it. And let's see if our replay, there's the, oh, I think she's safe. He called her safe, but then he called her out. But I thought she was safe on the replay. And then they get the other runner, Kylie Medora, then they go to third, and it's unclear whether she's out or not, and now they're gonna score that runner for the ball going out of play, and that's gonna net in 2 runs scored by Chaska. So what a wacky play that was. And you can see the Benilde players are protesting because they were misled, right? I mean, he called her safe, then he called her out, then she runs to third, and if you're told that you're out, you've got to rely on that, don't you? It's a real fairness issue. And then they force a throw, which allows the second runner to score. In law, they call it due process, which is really just another word for fairness. And I don't think that was due process. He called her safe, he called her out. It's a total chaos there, isn't it? And then the ball goes out of play, she scores, and then they allow the other runner to score. And that's the one I don't understand. But I don't see any protest from the Benilde bench as I look over to the left. But the Chaska coach is not happy, but I don't know why she's, oh, they did take a run off that. So they are gonna say, well, I mean, that's, yeah, so Paul Broden is in my ear here, our great producer. And so I look at the scoreboard and now, okay, let's look at this replay. Oh, there are 2 runners there, aren't there? So, okay, yeah, one of them's gonna have to be out. Well, can they, I don't know that rule. I don't know if they can be, I know a runner can't pass another runner, but I don't know. Boy, you think you know everything and then you learn that. I'm gonna Google that when I get home tonight. That is a great, can 2 players be on the first base, even if it's momentarily, and the ball, there's no play on them at that exact moment because they both realized that she started to run away. My goodness. This is like a law school question. I tell you, an exam. Could write 3 hours about what should happen here. Taking both sides, all kinds of sides to take. And now we see the Benilde coach coming out to talk about it. So I thought he needed to come out and give his opinion, and I'm glad to see him doing that. If for no other reason, just to let the umpire know that you're watching. You never know what kind of influences that can have on a decision maker. And we're still talking about it, but I look at the scoreboard and I'm gonna go by that. So it was 6-3, but they took a run off. But I only still see 1 out, Paul. So would they call that an out? Because there was, I believe, 1 out before all that happened, or maybe there wasn't. I think there was 0 outs. So, okay, so I think they called him 1 out based on that runner, but they're gonna allow the first run to score. So, okay, they're gonna get going here. That's my best interpretation of what happened. So let's set the stage for our audience. 1 out, nobody on. Our score 6-2, we're in the top of the third, and up to bat is number 30 for Chaska. The second hitter, the left fielder, Emma Haar. And the delivery, that pitch, high and outside, and it looked like it might have slipped out of Hessian's hand. At least her body language seems to suggest that was the case as we look at her. And you can see the beautiful sunshine coming in. It really is a beautiful night. So glad to be here, glad you're with us. And that pitch also misses the mark, and so the count is 3-0 to the number 2 hitter, the left fielder, Emma Haar. And pitch on away and chasing. And both the corner infielders, number 17, Wagner at first base, and number 4, Riley, came in, and that pitch swung on an easy play for Hessian as she pops it right back up to her to record out number 2. And so that'll bring up the number 3 hitter for Chaska, Allie Florek, the third baseman. There she is, the right-handed hitter. She'll try to get it started here for the Hawks with 2 outs and nobody on. They have 1 run across here in the top of the third. That pitch is low and in the dirt, ball 1. As we look at Hessian, she started the game. Great angle there from our center field camera inside. We've got 4 cameras here, Paul, today. I think we do. That is incredible. Pitch on away, strike call. Count 1-1, 2 outs. Number 3 hitter, Allie Florek, trying to get it going. She fights off that pitch, goes out of play. Over our truck and camera. So we've got 1 camera on the Benilde dugout roof along third baseline. We've got 2 cameras on the first baseline, and we've got a center field camera, 2 producers and an announcer. Glad you're with us. This is big time TV here in St. Louis Park. Glad you're with us. And that ball swung on, foul down the first baseline, brings the count to 2-2 to number 10, Allie Florek, the third baseman. Trying to get it going here with 2 outs and a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Hessian, and she pops off that mound, and that will end the top of the third for the Hawks, but not before they score 1 run on a very chaotic top of the third. Unusual playing as we had base running errors by Chaska. Some confusing calls by the umpires as we look at the umpires, and I'm sure they're talking about it, making sure that they get their calls right. And you can see the infielder umpire kind of explaining just by his body language, going, well, this is what I thought, because he originally called that player out, then safe. But all in all, Chaska came away with 1 run in the top of the third. So our score now, after 2.5, Benilde 6, Chaska 2. And back out on the mound is the backup pitcher, or the relief pitcher for Chaska. Her name is Ann Swigert, number 28. And she's done with her warm-up tosses. You can see some of the fans enjoying the beautiful evening here. They're in the shade right now, as most of us are. And you can see the shadows now starting to creep in, and that can play a factor as that sun is setting in the west and coming right down into the eyesight of the left side of the infield and outfield. And I do think it had an impact early on. Okay, now we're about to begin here, the bottom of the third. And stepping in to bat, the number 5 hitter, number 1, the catcher, Michelle Deering, the right-handed hitter to face Swigert. Her first pitch is swung on and fouled to the right side against the backstop. So strike one for Ann Swigert, who came in and pitched a scoreless bottom of the second after her predecessor, Coppersmith, gave up 6 in the top of the first, or the bottom of the first, and that pitch outside. So the count even now, 1-1. We look at Swigert. Outfield played fairly straight away. Third baseman inside the base, and that ball was outside and high, and reaching for it was Deering. And she fouls that out of play, so that will be strike 2. So the count 1-2. Again, 1-2 the count. Pitch on away, and that's swung on, and that's going to be trouble perhaps, but retreating back nicely for Chaska, the second baseman, Peyton Nicholas, easily makes that throw. And watch her footwork here, folks. Her footwork was perfect. That allowed her to make that play. And you have to worry about the right fielder. That's Coppersmith, the pitcher, now out there. So 1 out for Swigert. So 1 up, 1 down here, the bottom of the third. Now stepping in is number 17, the first baseman, Kylie Wagner. Trying to get it going here in the bottom of the third with a 6-2 lead. And strike call. Both these teams come in with similar records. Chaska 6-2, Benilde 4-1. In the conference, it's 3-1 and 2-1. Chaska has 2-1, trying to even it up, as Bloomington Jefferson is firmly in front with a 5-0 record, and Bloomington Jefferson has played both these teams and beaten them both. All right, our count 1-1 here, bottom of the third, and that pitch low. So now the count goes to 2-1. Nobody on, or excuse me, 3-1. So a hitter's pitch here for number 17, Wagner. Will she take a cut? And they called a strike right at the letters. So now the count is full. The payoff pitch coming up from Ann Swigert, number 28. Swung on right back up the middle, base hit for Wagner, and a nice piece of hitting there by her with a 3-2 count. So runner on first, and that will bring up number 11, the number 7 hitter, Jill Petty. We look at that base hit. Get all the way to center field. Okay, Petty, the right-hander. She fought off a pitch in the first inning to help drive in a run. 6-2 our score, bottom of the third. Pitch on away, swung on, short right center field, coming back and making the play, the right fielder, Coppersmith. Came in originally, then took a couple steps back and was able to draw that ball into her glove as we watch the replay. Swung on, nice swing there by Petty, by the way, and she almost misjudged it, and it might be the shadows, folks. That's what I'm talking about. Those shadows can affect the eyesight, but she was able to retreat back just in time to make that play, and that means there's 2 outs with the runner on first, and up to bat for Benilde is number 4, Brooklyn Riley, the third baseman, and that pitch way behind her. That's going to allow Wagner to take second base. So a critical error possibly by Swigert. And I only say that because now with her in scoring position at second base, a base hit here by Riley could capitalize on that error. Okay, now the count, 2-0. Pitch on her way, swung on, fouled back, strike. 2-1 now your count. Swigert gets the ball back. You can see the shadows now from that angle, and you can see how that could play a role here as this game progresses. We're nearing 7 o'clock already. Late spring day, and that pitch now 3-1, and a hitter's pitch now for the third baseman, number 4, the 8th hitter, Brooklyn Riley. Chance to get an RBI, swung on, came straight back and almost came right at me, and there was some pace on that ball. That will bring the count to full at 3-2 with 2 outs. So now the payoff pitch with 2 outs, runner on second. 6-2 our score. Swung on, and that pitch just gets through the hole between third and short, and that will score a run. And here's the play at home, and she's safe. Wow, what a great throw from the left fielder. And I thought that Wagner was gonna come in clean, but she almost got thrown out as number 30, the left fielder for Chaska, came right in and made a great throw. Emma Haar, let's look at the replay. Swung on, just sneaks through. Seeing eye infield ball, that's what I remember calling him growing up, the seeing eye infield ball, but look at the throw. And Wagner was taking it easy, and had that throw been just a little more accurate as we watch number 21 take a swing. Carly Green, our score is 7-2, 2 outs, and on the play, the hitter, Brooklyn Riley, who got the RBI, ended up on second base on the throw from left field. So query whether or not that ball should have went to second base, but it may be academic as Carly Green grounds out sharply to the third baseman, and that will retire the side and the end of the bottom of the third, but not before Benilde gets one more run to add to their lead. Our score after 3 full innings at Logan Field on the campus of Benilde-St. Margaret's. Benilde now up 7-2 as we go to the top of the 4th inning. And we'll see if Hessian will come out to pitch. I expect she will. Still early in the game. There's some nice music playing here, and you can see those shadows starting to creep in right around home plate and along those baselines as Hessian now comes out to take her warm-up tosses. And glad you're with us. This is our first softball broadcast on ParkTV 16 Sports since 2019. We missed out on all that great fun last year, and what a great time to be back out here on a spring day in Minnesota. You can't beat weather like this in a state like this. All right, we're about to begin, and stepping in for Chaska will be number 32, the number 4 hitter, the shortstop, Sydney Huey, to face Hessian here. And Chaska's top of the 4th. She'll be followed by number 20, Kendall Carmen, the first baseman, the number 5 hitter, and Grace Swigert, the number 6 hitter. So the meat of the order for Chaska to face Hessian and the Red Knights. And that first pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count to the right-handed hitter, number 32 for Chaska, Sydney Huey. And she made a great play at shortstop in the last half inning, and she pops that up, and coming in, Wagner able to easily take that pop-up for out number 1 for Chaska. So 1 out here, nobody on, and stepping in to bat is number 5 hitter,
20,
the first baseman, Kendall
Carmen.
And I don't know how tall she is, but she looks very tall. She could be 6 feet tall, this Carmen. And she can use that length for some power, and let's see if she can get around on one as Hessian delivers strike number 1 with some heat. So 0-1 your count with 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 4th. Number 6 hitter at the plate. And that pitch just misses outside as Kendall Carmen does a nice job laying off of it. So our count is even at 1. Hessian, the right-hander, with the delivery inside. And getting out of the way was Carmen. So the count now 2-1. As I look in the outfield, they are shading her to the right. The center fielder is more in right field, and that might be more because of the power of Hessian. It's hard to get around on her speed, especially for a lanky player like number 20, Carmen. But now the count is 3-1. That's a hitter's pitch, 1 out. Chaska looking to get some offense going here, down 5 runs. And that pitch is in the dirt, and so a base runner with 1 out. That will send number 20, Kendall Carmen, to first base, and that'll bring up the number 6 hitter, Grace Swigert, number 23.
Grace Swigert.
She'll be followed by number 8, the number 7 hitter, Peyton Nicholas. So a player on first, and now a chance for Grace Swigert. And her cut miss. Big pitch there by Hessian. She just brought the fastball The high heat delivers strike number 1. So 0-1 your count to that woman right there, number 23, Grace Swigert. Pitch on away, and that is high. Lots of pace on that, so the count 1-1. And I look out at left center field, and there is no wind here. Absolutely perfect night. The 1-1 delivery swung on right back, and the quick pitch to second. And what a great double play. You won't see a better executed double play. And that went, look at Hessian, Melsness to Wagner. And that was perfectly executed, and that is not an accident. They have practiced that play. And it brings goosebumps just the way that the pitcher, Hessian, her body, the way she turned it and went right to second base. Melsness was there. That was rehearsed, practiced, and beautifully executed double play. And that ends Chaska's top of the 4th inning. And that sends a message to Chaska. Very disheartening to watch that double play if you're Chaska, as they come out now to pitch and play defense in the bottom of the 4th. Our score after 3.5, 7-2. And back out to the mound is Ann Swigert. She came in relief in inning number 2 and has only given up 1 run after her counterpart Coppersmith gave up 6 in the top of the 1st. So this game would be a lot closer, perhaps, had Swigert started out pitching, but you'll never know that for sure. She finishes her warm-up tosses, and we're about to begin the bottom of the 4th, and up to bat, it looks like leading off will be their leadoff hitter, Rose Bransford. As we see her taking some instructions, there she is, number 3.
Now batting, number 3, Rose Bransford.
Look at all the camera angles we have here. You can see our 2 cameras on the dugout, our truck. Glad you're with us. All right, we begin the bottom of the 4th, and there's a quick bunt as she's gonna try to get on. The throw is behind, and now she's gonna go to second base, and Rose Bransford creates some offense, and now she's gonna stretch it to 3 as that ball is in play. A triple bunt for Bransford to lead off the bottom of the 4th, and that is demoralizing if you're on the defensive side of that. That throw clearly over the head, and here's the thing is that ball was in fair play, folks, when it went there, because it was beyond first base. Had that gone in the dugout, the runner would have been, Bransford would have been limited to second, but because it was in fair play, as we watched that pitch and swung on by number 13, Melsness, she'll fly out to the shortstop, and she was frustrated with that. Shaking her head, she saw an RB out there to be had, and that will record out number 1.
Now batting, number 15, Tibby Stewart.
So now Tibby Hessian is in to bat, the left-handed hitter with 1 out, but a runner on 3rd and a chance to add to the lead here in the bottom of the 4th. And that pitch inside took a lot off that was Swigert, number 28. And wisely, Hessian left, laid off that pitch. The number 3 hitter a chance to add to her lead with a base hit here, and that pitch outside and low. So 2-0 the count. On deck, number 10 for Benilde, Iris Flume. 1 out here, pitch on away, swung on, and that gets through the hole. Oh no, it's picked up by the second baseman, but unfortunately, the first baseman, number 20, Carmen, also lunged for that ball, and no one was there, and that will score the run. And now Benilde up 8-2 as number 3, Bransford, scores on the fielder's choice. Look at that great defensive play by Nicholas, but unfortunately, Carmen was not there to take the throw, so she reaches on a base hit. I would call that a base hit and an RBI base hit. Our score 8-2, 1 out. Runner now on first, and we have a pinch runner in for Hessian, and now stepping into bat, number 10, the number 4 hitter, the center fielder, Iris Flume.
Now
And we're about to begin
10,
here.
Iris Flum.
There she is, Iris Flum. And Benilde rocking and rolling here at home with a 4-1 record, and now a little bit of a delay. Oh, umpire wanted to cut the music and let the manager know for Chaska that we have a pinch runner in for the pitcher, Hessian, which is customary, and now the pitch on away. Oh, they're gonna try to throw it at first, but she gets back. And that is number 22, Sina Golshish, into pinch run. She takes a good lead. She looks aggressive out there on first. She might be looking to steal second, but so far, not so much. Okay, the count, 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out here. Bottom of the 4th. Already a run across on a bunt triple by Bransford. And an RBI base hit by Hessian. Okay, 3-0 the count. We'll see if she'll be taken all the way, and she was, and they did call the strike. So now a hitter's pitch. As we look at the pitcher, in relief, and Swigert. 3-1 count, 1 out, runner on first. Pitch on away, swung on, and that's a base hit solidly to left field. That'll just advance the runner to second. She's gonna stretch it to third. I don't know about that, and she's out. I question that base running error there. I don't know, I didn't see the third baseman waving her. Very aggressive, that was well hit, but also quickly fielded by the third baseman. And she saw what was happening and delivered a perfect throw and way in front, and the tag is in time. Although she got her a little high, the foot could have gone in there, but that was a good call by the umpire and a wise call. So Benilde runs their way out of a player in scoring position. Now the first hit taken by Michelle Deering, and a quick shot to the shortstop, and that throw over to first base records out number 3 as number 32, Sydney Huey, makes another great play, and that retires the side. So just when you thought Benilde was gonna add to their lead, 2 quick outs, ends their 4th inning. And we'll go to the top of the 5th. Our score here, 8-2. And Paul, how many innings do they play in girls softball? Is it 6 or 7 innings? So we're gonna go to the top of the 5th. So if you're just joining us, I don't get the feeling that this game is over with. Chaska has talent. They've got to get some hits going here. And looking up for Chaska, leading off, and the next 3 hitters for them will be the number 7 hitter, the second baseman, number 8, Peyton Nicholas. As we watch Benilde take the field, she'll be followed by the 8th hitter, Marie Aberly, the right fielder, and then Karina Coppersmith, who started out pitching and is now in right field. So I don't know if Aberly's in right field or not. No, Aberly is out of the game, and in for her will be the pitcher, Ann Swigert. So it will be Peyton Nicholas followed by Ann Swigert and Karina Coppersmith. The first 3 hitters to lead off the 5th, and into pitch once again. She's gone the whole distance. Is Tibby Hessian, the pitcher, having a good night so far, only giving up 2 runs as they have their meeting. And we'll wait for them. All right. And the shadows now creeping in more and more. And this is where I think it could have an impact, because the ball is coming out of the sunshine into the shadows. And that sun is getting lower and lower in the sky. So the left side of the infield, the shortstop, third baseman are going to have their work cut out for them just trying to see the ball. And that's why the third baseman wears a mask, because the reflexes, especially in softball, cannot be fast enough, especially with the sun. She's got her glove up to shield. Okay, the pitch on away after a first strike, and that ball is hit to the second baseman, and an easy play, and the throw over to first records the first out. In the top of the 1st, our scoring play, 4-3. As the second baseman, Lieve Hag, makes another nice play to record out number 1. Now stepping into bat for Chaska, the pitcher, Ann Swigert, with 1 out, nobody on. Pitch on away, and boy, the big time heat there by Hessian draws a big cut and a strike. 0-1, the count. Hessian, we're working much more quickly now. Pitch just misses on the outside, so your count 1-1. There's Swigert stepping in. Pitch on away. Umpire let that go, so your count now 2-1. One out here, nobody on. Top of the 5th inning. Swung on, and that hit the batter in the batter's box, so they'll call that a strike. And that should even the count at 2-2. Count even with 1 out, top of the 5th, and the high heat gets there for out number 2 and the K for Hessian. So 2 outs here, top of the 5th, nobody on, and that'll bring up the 3rd hitter in this inning, Karina Coppersmith. Number 26, trying to get something going here in the top of the 5th. Hessian cruising here in the 5th. She delivers that first pitch, swung on for strike 1, so 0-1 the count to Karina Coppersmith. If she reaches, she'll be followed by Ava Blake, the center fielder. Number 21, top of the order would be Medora Riley. And the count 1-1, swung on, and strike 2. So 1-2 the count with 2 outs. Coppersmith in a hole. Hessian, I believe, is smelling the jugular here. She wants to get out, and a clean top of the 5th. That's swung on and right to Melsness. That sun may have affected her play, but she recovers nicely and throws her out. She pulled the first baseman off the base, Wagner, and she was called safe. And no protest from the first baseman. It looked like a routine play, and that's where I thought the sunshine might have an effect. And that throw just pulls her off. Did she get her foot there? Nope, good call by the official, or was it there?
Number 21, Medora Riley.
That was hard to tell there with the shadow, but the call will remain. So we got 1 on with 2 outs and a chance for Chaska to try to get something going here with 2 outs in the top of the 5th. Looking for some sort of momentum, and that's Medora Riley up to bat. Strike 2 the count. Now she's in a hole, 0-2 with 2 outs. Runner on first. Left-hander looks at that pitch and stays alive. Following it out of play, back and to the left. And you can see those shadows creeping up more and more. I think that mound will be in the shadows as well very quickly here, just a few more minutes. But that left side of the infield is fighting that sun. It's right at eye level. Pitch on away, high. She lays off that smartly, Medora Riley, I should say, the center fielder. She scored the game's first run for Chaska, but they've only had 1 since and 2 runs total. Now the count 1-2. Pitch on away, swung on and fouled off. So nice job by Medora Riley fighting Hessian just to stay alive. Shows how good a hitter number 21 for Chaska is. Smart hitting as she looks for her pitch. And that pitch is high. She lays off of it. And now she's worked the count back to 2-2 with 2 outs.
You got this 2-1.
Good crowd on hand here for the Hawks. As for the Red Knights, great evening, good enthusiasm. Pitch on away, swung on and fouled back. So she is making Hessian work for it. The batter, that is, Medora Riley, number 21. She's fouled off several pitches here with 2 outs. Count still remains even at 2-2. Pitch on away in the dirt, it gets by, and that's gonna allow Coppersmith to take second base, and that puts the Hawks with a runner in scoring position. And you can feel that brings the intensity level up from the fans. They sense an opportunity here, but boy, Hessian is such a good picture. Count now 3-2 with 2 outs, runner in scoring position suddenly, and that pitch is outside, and she gives up the runner. And now runners on first and second with 2 outs, and Chaska has a chance here with 2 outs, and nothing hurts more than giving up runs with nobody on, and you already have 2 outs. Now stepping into bat,
for Chaska, their number 2 hitter, the left fielder. As we look at Hessian, Emma Haar now steps in, the right-handed hitter with runners on first and second, 2 outs. That first pitch is a ball. 1-0 the count, and Chaska would love nothing better than to get a double here, scoring 2 runs to get something going here, but that pitch misses low. So 2-0 your count. And that's gonna draw one of the coaches for Benilde off the bench, so they sense they don't wanna give Chaska any opportunity here. And not a bad move to see an assistant coach. I think she's the assistant, I'm not sure, but one of the coaches to come out just to settle down the pitcher, kind of block the momentum. Sometimes I think you come out there, you really don't have much more to say other than just to kind of, you know, get the other team out of their rhythm. And you did sense a bit of a momentum building here for Chaska. So smart move in my opinion, just to come out, even if you got nothing to say other than what's for dinner after the game, just break it up a little bit. Okay, we come away, it's 2 balls, no strikes to the number 2 hitter, so I assume she's a dangerous hitter. The left fielder, Haar. Chance to do some damage, swung on to the right field line. It's gonna be out of play over towards the fence and running into the fence. What an effort there by Jill Petty, the right fielder. She looks like she's okay. Smiles from the second baseman as she comes out to get that pitch. She goes out there, she made every effort. Fortunately, that's a soft fence out there. Great camera angle again. You're watching ParkTV 16 Sports. Now the count, 2-1. 2 outs, swung on, fouled straight back and out over the backstop. Strike 2, now the count 2-2. Runners on first and second, 2 outs. 8-2, top of the 5th. Hessian looking for the sign. And the windup, pitch on a way, high. And the throw out to Melsness, but getting back is Coppersmith. So Michelle Deering, the catcher, not afraid to toss that ball around. Got to send a message to the runners not to get off that base too soon. Okay, now the count, 3-2, swung on and fouled straight back and to the right. That brings some oohs and ahs from the Chaska crowd as that kind of almost fell right in their fan zone. All right, now new ball into Hessian. The count remains 3-2 with 2 outs, 2 on. Big pitch here. The payoff pitch, strike call. Hessian strikes her out to end the threat. So after 4.5 innings, your score from Benilde-St. Margaret's, they maintain their lead 8-2 as Hessian pitches her way out of the threat. And that'll bring Benilde to the bottom of the 5th. And we'll see who's coming out to pitch for Chaska. And there she is, number 28. And Pritchard, Swigert, I should say. And she came in with she's only given up 1 run since she came in the second after Chaska gave up 6 to begin the game. And had they not given up that 6th spot, this game would be a lot closer and much more as I would have expected, as I thought these 2 teams are pretty evenly matched. And other than that first inning, the bottom of the 1st, they are. And with Hessian pitching the way she is, it doesn't look good for the Hawks here. For the rest of the match, they're down to their last 6 outs when they come back up to hit. And meanwhile, Benilde still has 9 outs left, or 6 if they maintain their lead. And I expect up to bat for Benilde. Leading off will be number 17, Kylie Wagner. She's the 6th hitter. So it'll be hitters 6, 7, and 8 for Benilde to lead off the bottom of the 5th. That means it's Kylie Wagner, followed by Jill Petty and Brooklyn Riley, the first baseman, the right field, and third baseman. If either of those players get on, Carly Green
Now batting, number 17.
will bat
Kylie
fourth
Wagner.
this inning. Okay, now Kylie Wagner will step in, and that shadow now is over the mound. But the left side of that infield and the left fielder and maybe even the center fielder I can see is shielding their eyes. So a chance for Benilde, if they can drive the ball out to that part of the field, it could be trouble for those fielders. And even for the pitchers, her eyes are in the sun, but she's throwing into the shadow. And it's 1-0 the count to Wagner here, bottom of the fifth. That swung on, and that's a seeing eye ball right between third and short, and a base hit, and a solid one at that for Wagner as she reaches first. There she is. And that will bring up, as we watch that replay, smartly hit, well hit.
Now batting,
Base
number
hit to the left
11,
fielder,
Jill
and
Petty.
look at the fundamentals by both teams. They're both good softball teams here, especially in the field. All right, now one on, nobody out, and squaring to bunt was Jill Petty as she pulled back, and that is ball one. Wagner still on first base, and Benilde looking to add to their lead here in the bottom of the fifth. Swung on, and that ball, knuckler is, there's that sun, trouble. She gets out at first, and she's safe. And there's where the sun comes into play once again. Although the other thing that affected that play was the spin that came off that bat. It wasn't really well connected. Let's see the replay. You can see the knuckle ballish, that had a play, and the way it came dead off the field. And the sun, all I believe, contributed to that play being safe for Petty. And did she show some hustle? So now runners on first and second, still nobody out. And now stepping into bat is number 4 for Benilde, Brooklyn Riley, the number 8 hitter and the third baseman with a chance to add to Benilde's lead if she reaches. Coming up next is number 5, Liv Hag, and she swings, fouled out of play to the right side. So strike 2 to Brooklyn Riley. As we see her, number 4, the right-handed hitter. And a little equipment issue on second base. Wagner tying her shoe, so there's a timeout on the field. Pitch on a way in the dirt clearly. And look at the lead by Wagner. Now the throw to first base to try to pick off Petty, to no avail. Our count 1 and 2. Pitch on a way, high. That'll even the count at 2. 2 and 2, still nobody out. Runners on first and second. And still batting is Brooklyn Riley, the number 8 hitter, and that is Ann Swigert, the pitcher, who's come in relief since the second inning, and the pitch is low. And now the count is full at 3 and 2. The delivery from Swigert, the payoff pitch at 3 and 2, swung on to center field, right side, and coming in and making the play for out number 1 is number 22, Ava Blake. She's able to fight off the sun and come in and make that put out. So big first out for the Hawks as they retire number 4, Brooklyn Riley. And that will bring up number 5, Liv Hag, the second baseman. There she is. And she'll face Ann Swigert with 1 out and runners on first and second.
Now batting, number 5, Liv Hag.
And that pitch is ball 1. One out, runners on first and second. Pitch on a way to Hag. If she reaches, will be at the top of the order as she fouls that back and out of play. Runners on first and second, Petty and Wagner. 8-2 your score. That pitch high and outside. Good eye by Haig. Count now 2-1. Wind up pitch on away. Low and inside. So Haig now with a hitter's pitch. 3-1, 1 out. Runners on first and second. Chance to add to the lead here. Pitch on away, and she takes a strike. Looked like she was taking all the way. So now the payoff pitch. Up next, top of the order, Rose Bransford. So Chaska really wants to record it out here if they can, or a double play. Swung on to center field. Is it gonna get in there? And it does. A seeing eye ball lands in short right center field, and that will load the bases up for the top of the order and Rose Bransford with just 1 out. So Haig able to fight that pitch off on a 3-2 count. Able to find the green space right there in front of a diving center fielder for Chaska, Ava Blake. And now Bransford in the top of the order with 1 out, bases loaded, and a real chance here for Benilde to blow this game wide open. As that first pitch is a ball to number 3, the left fielder, Rose. Pitch on away in the dirt. Ball 2, and now the pickoff attempt, and they're gonna call her out, and they do. All the way, the umpire at shortstop, and I thought that was a good call at my first glance. Let's see if we can get a replay as Haig gets thrown out, and that's out number 2. She got caught leaning. We don't have that replay, so she's out, and she looked out when I looked over there. Now the pitch, and it gets through. No, it doesn't. Stopped at shortstop, but unable to make the play. The diving shortstop for Chaska, Sydney Huey. And again, the sun is still in her and the third baseman's eyes, and I don't think that had an impact. It was just a well-hit, sharply hit ball to the left side of the infield.
Now batting number 13, Sophie Melsness.
But she is fighting that sun, and that now loads the, that's a run across for Benilde on that play. So now it's 9-2, and Petty's on third, and on first base is number 3, Bransford, and now Sophie Melsness, number 2 hitter, and the shortstop with a 1-ball, no strike count. She swings, and now the steal attempt, and she is safe at second. Bransford reaches scoring position, and what aggressive base running here by Benilde as they now also scored a run, because on the throw to second, Petty scored, and that's where if you're the catcher, you got to fake the throw to second and try to pick up the runner at third. So they fell for that trick, and now it's 10-2. Smart play by Benilde going on the steal, because when you throw it down there, that's an easy run on third base. So now we have a runner on second, 2 outs. The count is 2-1, and up to bat is number 13, Melsness, and that goes right through the shortstop, and that is gonna maybe be a score, and it is, as scoring from second base, number 3, Rose Bransford, makes it 11. Now we gotta play at second base, and that ball scoots away into short center field. And the net result is Melsness reaches second on the base hit. And I don't know how that got through other than the sun, and you can see the starkness in the shadows in the sun, and that sun is wreaking havoc on that second baseman. And that is a perfect example of what I thought might happen as Melsness gets back. And had the second baseman, number 8, held on, Nicholas, I think she would have had Melsness with the third out. But as it turns out, Melsness is on second. Hessian, the pitcher, is coming to bat. And the manager is coming out. There you can see him in the white coat with the hood, talking to the umpire. And I'm not sure what he's objecting to, or is that I'm not sure he or she. That's a she, I guess. But the score is 11-2, and I can understand her frustration, but I don't think she has much of a beef with what the umpires called out there. As they did, that same umpire called out Haig from way across the infield, so it's not, and that could have been he was in a good position to make that call. So it's 11-2, runner on second, and that first pitch from Swigert is a ball to number 15, the number 3 hitter for Benilde, Tibby Hessian. Swigert, who's been in, there she is, the pitcher, 2 outs, 11-2. And that ball swung on, and that's gonna go all the way to the wall, and that's gonna score another one. As Hessian delivers a big-time hit, a power drive to right center field, and that scores another run for Benilde, and that is gonna be the game as we have a 10-run rule in girls varsity softball. And so with that game-winning hit by Hessian, delivers that all the way to the wall, and that scores the 12th run for Benilde, and that will bring to conclusion our game here, suddenly concluded in the bottom of the 5th. So that is our final score, folks. So for Paul Broden, our producer, everyone connected, all 4 of our cameras, I am Robert Christensen. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again. Our final score, 12-2. Benilde goes to 5-1 on the year. Chaska goes to 6-3, and we'll see you again.